What's up, everybody? True Internet coming at you today. We got another video, and this time I want to talk about the Green Bay Packers. Man, they're my favorite football team of all time, and I'm just going to talk about how disappointed I am in this team, and just this was coming, right? And I had a feeling that this year wasn't going to be a great year after trading Devontae Adams and not getting anything to really replace him, and giving Rodgers a contract that he got, and all of the kind of things. But if you guys can dislike the video, comment down below, give me your thoughts on the Packers and all that stuff, and your opinions on what I talk about in this video. And I'm gonna try to be as calm as possible. Usually, when I make a video, I get angry, I get pissed off, and I'm just yelling all the time. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna try to stay as calm as possible and just go through everything. And yesterday was the straw that broke the camel's back. You lost to the Detroit Lions 16-9. Now, what makes that bad is that this is you put up 9 points against the worst defense in the NFL. Your quarterback is Aaron Rodgers. That shouldn't happen. Okay? I saw the game yesterday. The Packers offense was moving the ball. It was just Aaron throwing terrible passes. It was just in the red zone. They were all terrible. One to Lazard. He bounced it off of a Detroit Lions defender's head. The second one was a stupid play design for David Bakhtiari, who, by the way, has knee issues. Okay, he hasn't, for some reason, since the torn ACL, hasn't fully recovered from it. Why is that play designed for him? Why is that not designed for a tight end or Alan Lazard or whatever the case may be? Whoever came up with that play should be fired tomorrow. And then the third interception was just, a good play by the cornerback, honestly. I don't know if the ball was thrown behind or if it was a little bit ahead. I can't remember the play, but the quarterback made a really good play on the ball, intercepted Aaron. But this was after Jaire Alexander made a play yesterday and got the ball back for the Packers. Take care of the football, Aaron, and get some points, okay? That was a momentum play there for you guys to jump out and take do what you needed to do and, whatever, and just beat the Lions. That's how bad the Packers are this year. You can't beat the Lions. The Lions, who have the worst defense in the NFL, by the way. Need I mind you, the worst defense in the NFL. And you can't do that. You can't put up more than 9 points. Now, not just that. This isn't important, but, you cost me a fantasy football game because of those 3 interceptions. It's crazy, man. I'm sitting here thinking this is going to be a high-scoring game, fun to watch. I don't expect much to happen here. You should beat the Lions. You can't do that. You can't do that. So, this is a failure from the front office all the way down, okay? Before the year started, you don't re-sign Devontae Adams. For some reason, I don't know why you're not giving him an extension, before the season starts and all that stuff. I don't know why. It boggles my mind why you waited till all the way to the offseason to sign Devontae Adams, right? You lose to the Niners. Let's just start from the beginning. You lose to the Niners in a divisional round. This was all this year. You lose to the Niners in a divisional round, putting up 7 points, which is by far rock bottom. Once that happened, I was like, it's time to move on from Aaron Rodgers. Trade him, move on. You can find the receipts on my Twitter. You can find the receipts on my Facebook. I said, go ahead, trade Aaron Rodgers. We're done. We're not going to win a Super Bowl with this guy anymore. It's over. Move on. Trade him. Get your picks. If you suck for the next 30 years, you suck for the next 30 years. But just move on. It's not going to work anymore. It's not going to work. It is over. Move on. That didn't happen. You get into the offseason. Reports are, there's a lot of receivers that want to get paid and either pay me or trade me. Okay. And we're hearing reports of, Devontae and the Packers trying to get the contract extension done, blah, blah, and what's taking so long. Next thing you know, Devontae Adams is traded to the Raiders. You got, I think, 2 first-round picks, if I remember correctly, or first and the second, can't remember what it was. He was franchise tagged, and then from there he was moved to the Raiders, okay? You didn't get any players in return. You didn't get anything like that at all, okay? His contract moves. You then immediately sign Aaron Rodgers to his extension. There was enough money on the table to give Devontae Adams a $25 million a year contract and Aaron Rodgers contract as well. From there, Jaire got his extension, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Again, I go back into a lot of wide receivers were wanting to get paid or traded. I can go through the list. It was A.J. Brown. It was Deebo Samuel, Tyreek Hill, There was a decent Amari Cooper for a 5th-round pick as well. He was available. Okay. You had all these receivers. If you lose a Davante Adams, you need to find a way to replace him. Right? Either you need to do well in the draft to accommodate his position, or you need to make a trade for a receiver to fill that spot. Okay? Now, this is before the season started, and, I was thinking everything's fine. If we just get a receiver here, we're okay. All right, whatever. We don't get the receiver. We go to the draft day. We find out A.J. Brown gets moved for a 1st-round pick. I was on a live stream watching that, and I threw my headphones on the ground, and I just said, you know what? That was the easy. If you were going to make a trade with a 1st-round pick for a wide receiver, that has to be the easiest trade to make in NFL history, which is trading one draft pick to get A.J. Brown. Now, you're going to get Packers fans who are going to sit there and tell you, well, we couldn't do it because of salary cap, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to hear that nonsense. What you could have done, you could have offloaded some contracts. You could have traded some players away, or whatever the case may be. You could have offered a little bit more to fit A.J. Brown in with this team, okay? Fit him in with this team and pay him the contract. He went for $5 million less a year, by the way, than Davante Adams, just to let you know that. If you look at his contract, he was actually cheaper than Davante Adams. So we don't get A.J. Brown for a 1st-round pick. You don't get Amari Cooper for a 5th-round pick. You traded away Davante Adams, who's clearly your best receiver. And the other thing is, too, you guys gotta understand, outside of Davante Adams, the wide receivers on this team aren't very good. Okay, Allen Lazard is decent, but he's always hurt. Okay, he got hurt, didn't play a week ago. And the rest of the receivers are just whatever. They don't get open. They barely beat their one-on-one coverages, which is why Aaron was constantly forcing it to Davante. It's just, and, just all that collectively has led into this season. And this season is just, they're not going to the playoffs, right? They're not going to the playoffs. I at least had them going to the playoffs. They're not doing that. Right now, the problems with this team are Dave Bakhtiari is finished. I think he's done. I think they need to move on from him. Either he needs to retire or they need to just move on, cut him, do whatever the hell they need to do. I don't know. He's done. This offensive line is in shambles. Aaron Rodgers is constantly disgruntled and talking shit out there to the public or whatever. Maybe the teammates aren't responding to that because this is a young team and the receivers are young and they're not, whatever. Nobody's getting on the same page. Matt LaFleur, this offense looks out of place. It looks like it doesn't have an identity. You have 2 good running backs. I don't know why we're not using them as much as we are. It's just, it's a debacle. This entire year is a huge, debacle. It's just bad all the way around. And you could have fixed that in the offseason if you made the right decisions to fill the need at wide receiver that you needed to fill with the correct player. You chose not to do that. Okay? Maybe, just maybe, that offensive line, maybe protects a little bit better if you had an A.J. Brown out there, constantly getting open, or they have to double team him, whatever the case may be. Defenses wouldn't feel the need to go 4 down linemen on you and just rush the passer while everybody else is single covered and nobody's open and Aaron was getting sacked. You know what I'm saying? Think like that. You know what I mean? I just don't think this organization, at least from the front office perspective, understands how to make this team great. I just don't think they do. I just don't understand what their thought process was this offseason when they were constructing this team. I don't get it. And it's starting to show this year. It's ridiculous. And then I find out reports this year, trade deadline, you had a trade for Chase Claypool, couldn't get it done. Granted, I don't care if you got Chase Claypool or not, but, it's crazy to me that you couldn't make a move to do that. You just couldn't get it done. For whatever reason. Either you were sleeping the next morning or you failed to communicate with the team. Who knows why, right? Not just that. I find out you were willing to give up a 1st-round pick for a wide receiver, but you were willing to give it up for DJ Moore. You're 4 or 5 months too late to make that move. You should have made it for A.J. Brown, and you should have found a way to make it work with money. That's your job. Your job as a front office is to put the best product on the field and get the best players available to make your team competitive and to beat the Lions. That's your job. Every year in the trade deadline, you don't do anything to give a spark or something to this team. Before the season starts, you don't pick up any big, you don't make any big moves to get any big time players. Wide receivers are available. They just want to get paid. Aaron can still play the game. He had a really shitty game yesterday, but he can still play. You give him a top receiver, things will happen. Not only that, let's go back 4 years ago. No, 3, I'm sorry. Let's go back 2 years ago when you drafted Jordan Love. And you didn't draft a single receiver in the deepest draft for wide receiver in God knows how long. It's just failure after failure after failure after failure, and it's starting to rear its ugly head. When are you going to learn? Green Bay, wake up. When are you going to learn? Do your job. Your job is to put the best product on the field. That is your job. I don't understand that. I don't understand how you go from moving Davante to doing nothing and then signing Sammy Watkins. I knew the year was going down the fucking tubes when Sammy Watkins was signed to the Packers. When that happened, I was like, we are in trouble. You got a bunch of receivers that can't beat one-on-one. Good job. Solid team building there, Gutekunst. Let me tell you something. If your job isn't on the line this year, we have a huge problem in Green Bay. If your job isn't on the line, if Matt LaFleur's job isn't on the line, if Aaron isn't, think about what you're going to start doing with Aaron. Either move him or build a competitive team around him. Make up your minds. You can't do both. He's getting older. You need to have quality players around him. I don't get it. It makes no sense. None of it. Oh, I finally got that off my chest. I felt like I had to do that today, man. Make a YouTube video and just talk about the Packers' troubles. And it's just frustrating, man. And anyways, guys, that's it. If you guys can, let me know. Give me your thoughts down below. Subscribe to the channel. I'll have some more sports stuff coming up. I was thinking about doing more sports videos and just talking about, the NFL or NBA. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. I got to figure it out myself. When I do, I'll get it going. But if you guys can, dislike the video, comment down below. Give me your thoughts on the Packers and talk to me, Packers Nation, Packers fans out there. If I'm wrong here, tell me I'm wrong. If I'm right, if you feel the way I do, tell me. Just talk to me down below in the comment section. If you, like I said, subscribe to the channel, dislike, all the good things, man, and I will have some more sports stuff to talk about this year. Have a wonderful, blessed day, guys. Go Pack, go. I'm still a Packer fan, but this is just absolutely ridiculous. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful, blessed day. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.